Look at this vast stretch of manicured grass. In feudal England, the lawn was engineered as a conspicuous consumption signal, a way for landowners to prove they were wealthy enough to avoid using their land for food production. Many modern municipal codes still legally mandate this feudal aesthetic. By requiring uniform grass lawns, these local laws actively prevent residents from utilizing their own soil for survival. This specialization creates a fragile foundation. When we rely on a global system where the average meal travels 1,500 miles, a single drought or pandemic in a distant region can break the entire supply chain. Shortening that distance to a local radius provides a buffer that global monocultures lack. Transitioning a neighborhood into a resilient food shed starts with a strategy. We are going to build a step-by-step front yard legalization plan to help you navigate and resolve restrictive local zoning laws. Planting a front yard garden forces a direct negotiation with the outdated bureaucracy that currently governs your community's food security. Step 1 is finding your specific legal hurdles. Go to your local municipality's website and locate their online zoning code portal. You need to conduct a keyword audit. Search for trigger words like lawn, weeds, and accessory structures to see exactly which ordinances the city uses to regulate residential land. Check the definitions carefully. There is a critical legal distinction between a hobby garden and a commercial farm. If you intend to sell your produce, you trigger a much higher level of zoning scrutiny and permit requirements. Remember that homeowners association bylaws are private contracts. These are separate from municipal law and require a different legal approach that is not covered in this specific guide. Step 2 involves adjusting your garden's physical design to preempt aesthetic and health complaints before a code enforcer can issue a citation. Notice the structured borders here. You can satisfy municipal requirements for order by replacing messy edges with enriched boundaries, using trellised berries or grapes to create a clean, intentional look. Most municipal objections to urban agriculture projects center on the fear of rats and odors originating from compost systems. To address this, follow a strict carbon sarin wrap design. This requires 25 parts brown carbon waste to 1 part green waste. This thick carbon layer neutralizes odors and creates a dry, impenetrable barrier that discourages rodents from entering. Step 3 is matching the restrictions you found in your audit to one of 3 policy strategies. If farming is banned, take Pathway A. Apply for a variance based on environmental water savings. If the code uses vague language, take Pathway B, by right farming, to clarify residential rights. If a process exists, take Pathway C, a right to farm permit, to secure legal standing. Step 4 is the submission. Compile your code audit, your design sketch, and your permit application into a single packet. File this packet officially with your city planning office. To ensure it isn't ignored, send a copy directly to your city council representative. In your letter to the council, frame the project as a civic asset. Emphasize how local agriculture supports community food security and improves stormwater management. Your success is marked by securing a date-stamped copy of your application or being assigned a formal date for a public hearing. When your application moves to a public hearing, it enters the permanent record. This forces your representatives to openly discuss and decide on the rules that affect your neighborhood's landscape. Filing your plan creates a formal entry in the city's records. Whether through a variance or a permit, you have forced the municipality to legally account for food security in a space previously reserved for lawns. While you wait for administrative processing, you must begin accumulating materials. A productive garden requires massive inputs of dry leaves, cardboard, and organic brown matter to restore the soil. Use this time to engage your neighbors. Building local support early prevents complaints from surfacing during your permit review or public hearing. Gather your materials, submit your plan, start reclaiming the ground. Building a resilient future starts by rewriting the rules of the land right at your own front door. We have built our world on a high-stakes assumption that our industrial momentum is as unsinkable as the steel hulls we once set into the Atlantic. But the elephant in the room has grown too large to ignore, moving out of our private shadows and into the center of our lives. This is the meta-crisis. the tipping point where the stories of endless growth collide with the physical limits of our planet. The Lifeboat Mini Course is your immediate, structured transition, a free 5-day journey delivered to your inbox to transform global anxiety into local resilience. Day 1 begins with an audit of the invisible, the energy and water systems you rely on every hour, yet rarely ever see. Day 2 forces a change in your geographical lens, challenging you to locate your true home within your watershed and local bioregion. You won't navigate this terrain alone. You will receive daily study guides and synthesized patterns designed to cut through the noise and reveal the architecture of change. Day 3 asks you to practice active hope in a world facing ecological overshoot. Day 4 introduces the demanding standard of revolutionary love. By tracing the water back to your neighbor's tap, you move beyond the narrow walls of self-help and into the expansive, interconnected practice of systems health. The climax arrives on Day 5 with the introduction of a specific framework for your future, the 9x21 harvest. Who is your mutual guiding spirit in this transition, and which 9 things will you choose to do? Stop waiting for the headlines to crush you. Sign up for the Lifeboat Mini Course now. Access your Day 1 materials immediately and join the community hub where the next story of our world is already being written. You can remain tied to the illusion of a collapsing global credit card, or take this course to begin building real systems health today. The Earth is tired of the lie. It is time to dance with the truth.